Hey everyone, this is Martin, and today we are on day number 7 of the 30-day challenge to get you back to the land. And it's going to be on additional ways you can start ramping up your purchase fund for your land, your property. Today is going to be kind of fun because we're going to start looking at things that are kind of outside the box that can put bigger chunks of money into your account, into your savings for your land purchase. But first, before we get started on that, I want to encourage you to go down below the video here, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, turn the notifications to all so that you get them all. This is a 30-day series that if you're not subscribed, you're going to get them hit and miss. So if you do that, you'll be notified of all of them when they come out. The other thing is that when we started this thing, we decided to stop and publish a companion book to go with it. It's called Back to the Land, and just kind of fills in some of the gaps in the videos that we kind of miss. And it also, you don't need it to go through the videos, but if you do, it'll give you a place to scribble notes and keep track of stuff and a little bit better. So that information is down below also. You can get it from Amazon or you can get it from us for $3 cheaper. And it's because our first run had typos in it. So if you want one that has typos in it and $3 cheaper, you need to contact us. That information is down there too. Okay, so today is going to touch on something that will really ramp up and put a lot more horsepower behind your savings, or your fund building, your finance building activities for purchasing your land. And it's I called it saving and selling, because it's a way. I found that if I try to just simply carve out a piece of my paycheck each week or each month and put towards savings, it really doesn't add up fast enough. It would take you 100 years to get there. So you've got to find other ways to do that. And so what I've always done is I've kind of fallen back on sort of my entrepreneurial tendencies to try to find ways to increase money in bigger ways a lot faster. And I know a lot of people are kind of hesitant about that or don't like the idea of selling. And it's not that complicated. It's not that difficult. If all you do is go out and find things that people need, then you can make it happen. And a lot of times you can start right with your own household, the stuff that's in your house. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a story about how dramatic that can be. A number of years ago, it's probably been about 10 or 12 years ago now, my wife and I, we were in the process of building up our little cabin rental business, and we'd bought a house that was right next to a couple of our cabins that was really run down, and it was a mess. And we mainly wanted to take control of it just because we wanted to clean up the mess that was there and not have that as being the eyesore that people looked at. We ended up buying it, and it had evidently belonged to a hoarder because it was full from floor to ceiling with little aisles winding through it where they walked, and they left everything behind when they moved out. And so I estimate there was probably 4 or 5 dump trucks full of stuff in this house, and none of it was really any good. It was just stuff that had been accumulated for years and years and years, and we were looking at having to pay to have it all removed. And as we were sitting there, we thought, well, why don't we just put it basically for cheap, free price, almost free price out in the front yard as kind of a yard sale, and just try to get rid of it that way. And so as we were moving it out of the front yard, we were putting prices on it that was just like almost giveaway prices. And people started showing up and buying things. And literally, there was very little that sold for more than $1 or $2. There was a few things that, like $5 or $10. And then there was a couple of things, some pieces of furniture in that we got maybe $20 or more out of. But most of it was in that $1 to $2, certainly under $5 range. And that went on for, gosh, what was it? Almost 2 weeks. Every single day we had that sale. As we brought stuff out, we just priced it, and we got to be the local thrift store almost. And people showed up every single day. A lot of times the same people, just to see what was there. We didn't let them come in the house because that would have been too chaotic. And we ended up selling enough to pay the entire down payment or recover the entire down payment that it took to buy that house, just out of the stuff that was in there. I mean, it was several $1,000s that we got back out of just selling that stuff. And I'm not suggesting that you're a hoarder, but all of us have things in our home that we really don't need. And, my encouragement to you on that is to, get into your planning book that we started on, I think it was on day 2 or 3, and make a list, 10 items, just number them down the side, 10, and just go through your house with a pencil and paper, or that list, and find things that, you haven't maybe used for years, and you're going to, if you get rid of them, you're going to forget you had them 6 months from now. And just make a list of those things. We did that when we were first starting to move away from our bigger house into a smaller kind of a lifestyle. And we had a couple of pretty big pieces of furniture that were awkward and big, and we sort of used them, but we really didn't. And so we ended up putting about three or four of those things on there, and ended up trading some big bulky items that we didn't hardly ever use into $1,500 worth of cash that we put into our bank account. And so my encouragement, and they don't have to be all your big stuff, just find things that you're not using in the back of the closet, in the back of the garage, up in the attic, or in the basement, or whatever. Find things that you're really not using. Be honest with yourself. You're not using them. You're not going to use them, okay? And make a list of 10 of them, and just put them on Marketplace, or put word around that you got them for sale, and put that in your account. You may find that you end up dumping $1,000 or $2,000 worth of stuff, or worth of cash into your account just by getting rid of some things that you haven't used. Here's another thing that I did one time. I was at a local thrift store is in that town where we had the little cabin project going when we first got started. And we'll talk about that too as an income earning thing later on in the series. But I went up there, and they had like 10 dishwashers. They were used dishwashers, but there was 10 of them in the thrift store, and I was asking about them. It turned out they had just received 150 dishwashers from a apartment complex that was going through a kitchen renovation upgrade kind of a thing, and they just donated all these dishwashers to the thrift store, and they were selling them, I believe it was for $75 a piece, but if you bought 10, you could get them for $50 a piece. And so I told them, well, how much would you sell them to me for if I bought 20 of them? And so I was able to secure 20 of them for $40 a piece. And what I did was I thought, I kind of run in a circle of real estate investors, and they're always looking for used appliances that they can pick up for cheap, and dishwashers is one of those. So the reason I bought 20 of them is because that's all I could handle as far as storing them, or they wouldn't be getting rained on and that. And so I bought 20 of them, put the word out among those real estate investors. I kept a couple of them for myself to put into some rentals that we had. But then I just made like one post on Facebook into the real estate investor club that I had dishwashers, and within a week I'd sold them all for $100 a piece. So I wound up with a huge little bunch of income that I could put into my savings account, literally just by buying some things that people needed, turning around and reselling them again. So, get a little bit of entrepreneurial spirit behind you, and see what that will do. Your first inventory can be just the things that you find around your place, around your house that really are serving no purpose anymore, and make that your first inventory of merchandise that you can sell. And every time you do that, whether you're taking it out of your own household to sell, or whether you're finding things, just good deals out there that you can kind of turn around and flip them for a profit. Whatever you do, there's television shows based on flipping things like that for a profit. So flea market flip, I think, is one of them. I know there's a little bit more to it than that, but still, it's ways you can put bigger chunks of money back into your land purchase fund much, much easier than just trying to carve out a few dollars out of every paycheck to do it. So do that. I guarantee you that it will ramp things up a lot faster for you. Remember to hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and we'll see you tomorrow. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and a share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell. See you next time.